Okay, let's onboard a target application. So I'm calling it as a Netflix. So I think this is pretty much enough information like your employee ID, full name, first name, last name, email, and plan. I guess this is the data. I've never seen Netflix, what kind of data they store, but as a end user of Netflix, I know these are the details. Let's onboard the same application and let's see how it behaves. Okay. So what is the first step? You go to connections, sources, and then right side you have create new. What is the first step? You need to find, or you need to, you know, understand the application and find out what is the correct connector for it. So we are dealing with delimited file as CSV file. So the correct connector is delimited file. Configured. Then you need to give the information here. What is the source name? So I'm calling it as Netflix. This source name should be unique. In your tenant, there will be a lot of applications onboarded, right? So the source name should be unique always. It shouldn't be duplicated. I'll say Netflix CSV file testing purpose. Source owner, if you have the application owner here, you can select, or for time being, I'll select any user here. It's not an authoritative source, right? So I'm not gonna create it as an authoritative source. Let me select it as an authoritative source and let me show you the difference. Okay, continue. I'll delete this and recreate.
Krishna, what
See
is the
here,
difference between authoritative source and other sources? Because each application when you onboard, they're actually when you do the aggregation using correlation or whatever first time, they are bringing in the users into the system, right? So what is the difference?
you tell me what is the difference between other applications and authoritative application. What is the purpose of authoritative application?
It's the golden copy.
Creating identities.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Oh, okay. So if it is not authoritative, the identities won't be created.
Why will you create identities for
I
non-authoritative
I was thinking
systems?
so. That's why. Okay, that's where my confusion is. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, keep your questions,
Okay.
guys, later. Yeah. So now if you observe, as I said yesterday as well, again, I'm taking connection sources. So while creating the source, when you click create new, I mean, after selecting the connector, please guys, keep your questions to the end of the session. So you have authoritative checkbox. It was not there earlier. It's a new, I mean, if I say brand new, it doesn't mean that yesterday or something. It's kind of like 1 year back, this option was enabled. Before that, it was not there even. Okay. So since it is a cloud source and I really hate it, there is no timelines about when the new features or changes are coming over. It's just coming whenever they want to, like that, which I hate even. So at the moment, there is no significance for authoritative source checkbox, and but just only one observation or look and feel only, nothing else. Okay, so if I select this as an authoritative source, when I create the source, it will give you missing identity profile. So in case while creating the source, if you selected this as an authoritative source, right? What does that mean? Authoritative source means you need to create identities for that application. Authoritative source means HR system, right? It can be anything, either employees or contractors or volunteers, or an organization can have one HR system or more than that even. You and me are not the ones to say anything about it, right? So you are saying that it is an authoritative source. If you think it is an authoritative source, you have to create identities for the accounts in this source. How do you create identities? By creating identity profile. That's what it is giving a warning like missing identity profile. Apart from this, there is nothing at the moment. Okay, but I can predict what going to happen next feature they might release. If I go to identity profiles, when you click create new, it displays all the sources here. everything is displayed. Maybe they will filter it out here not to display every source except whatever you selected as authoritative source to avoid mistakes. Yesterday, someone asked me, what if by mistake I create an identity profile for a target application? You won't create by mistake. But if maybe to avoid that, SailPoint might release a feature that, hey, when you are creating when you are creating identity profiles, right? I will display the sources. At the moment, it is displaying all the sources onboarded in my tenant. Maybe they will display only the sources which you selected as authoritative source. Okay, that might come in the future. I don't know. But at the moment, it will just give you missing identity profile, nothing else. This is the warning they will give you, nothing else it is giving. I can continue to make this as a target application, or I can delete it, no big deal. Okay, it's just because I created it as an authoritative source, that doesn't mean that I should create an identity profile. No, it's just a warning, that's it. Okay, I can use this right away. And additional settings, there is nothing to be done. As I said yesterday as well, you can leave as it is. And then review and import accounts, I couldn't get time to check this. I will check definitely. So if you see account schema, these are the default attributes SailPoint is giving whenever you are creating delimited file. So what is account schema? Nothing but the attributes you have for a user in that application. What are the attributes we have in Netflix? These are the attributes. When I read Netflix application, for every user, the account or identity is nothing but an object, right? Identity is object, account object. What is an object? Collection of properties. So what is the property here? Nothing but attribute. So this is your account, Netflix account. What are your properties? This is your employee ID. This is your display name. This is your first name, last name, email. What is your plan? Right? So identity is also an object, collection of properties. So we create identity based on the data from HR system. So for this identity, what is the HR system? This is the data. This is the HR system account. So it took the data to create identity. So account nothing but the record, your record in a target application or any application. Identity is the object that is created based on data from HR system. Okay, so I'm reading the data. What does that mean by reading the data? I'm reading attributes for every user. What are the attributes? These are the attributes. Now I need to tell SailPoint that, hey, dude, you are going to read all these attributes. That's it. That's what account schema is. Okay, yesterday someone asked me, is account schema is going to be same? How it will be same? If you see HR system, these are the attributes. If you see Netflix, these are the attributes. If you see Amazon, different data will be there. Account schema is nothing but your data, different attributes. Okay. Now account schema I need to update. Either I can manually update or I can download the schema and upload the schema. Yesterday we have seen. Since it is not many attributes, better I'm gonna delete everything and then I'm gonna create manually. So I'll delete. Okay. So now the attributes what you mentioned as account ID and account name, you cannot delete them unless you change that. See, it will ask you before you delete the attribute, select the account ID. Otherwise, you cannot change. Okay, because those are mandatory. You need to set it. So before deleting this, I'll create a new attribute. Don't type, guys. Better copy paste. Why? When you type, chances of typing mistakes, spelling mistakes, or case mistakes as well. Let's say this is capital ID, you might type small ID, and you say that it's not working. It's not like your playground or your textbook writing, whatever, however you want to. It should be matching how, otherwise SailPoint knows that. Okay, it's not that intelligent that if you even give small ID, it will go for capital ID. No, it's not like that. Okay, and then click save. Attribute is created. Now I need to create one more attribute, full name. I'll copy this. Add attribute, paste it, save. Every time I need to click add new attribute, maybe I can save the time, right? So you can click add another. Then when I click save, this prompt will be open. You do not need to click again, add new attribute. So I'll copy first name. Save. Last name. Save. Then email. Let's say that if I am giving the same attribute here again, let's say if I type first name, already we have created first name, right? If I say first name again, it will say already attribute exists. So it should be unique. Okay. Now type. These are the type of the attribute you can use. By default, we always use string only. Long, int, you should know what is the data type means. Integer, number, long means a big number. Boolean means true or false. Group means it's an entitlement. Group is nothing but entitlement. Entitlement, what is entitlement? Access. Okay, in case if you feel that that attribute is an entitlement, we can select it as a group as well. We will discuss that more in coming sessions. Let's not worry about it now. Okay, so I'm creating email attribute and then I'm gonna create plan attribute. Plan I created, but this is an entitlement. So in Netflix, what is the access here? Not because you know Netflix, but even if you don't know about Netflix, we cannot give access based on employee ID, full name, first name, last name, email, but plan looks like an access. So plan is the access. So for plan, you should select entitlement because it's an entitlement, it's an access attribute. Okay, multi-valued, in case if that attribute is multi-valued, then you can select it as a multi-valued, but plan is a single valued, so I will leave like that. Okay, do I have any other attribute? No, I don't have it, so I will uncheck this box, or even if I check this box, click save, um, you are marking it as an entitlement without choosing type. There is a reason behind that. That's a bit advanced topic. We will discuss that more. Okay, continue. So I don't want this prompt anymore, so I'll close this. So I have
So if
added
it is
all
an
the attributes.
entitlement, you said we should select the type as group, right?
It's not mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. So these are the attributes I have added. Okay. Now I don't want this email attribute. Of course, it's an old one. I'm deleting it. Continue. Now I don't want this ID and name even. Those are old schema. By default, sale point given schema. I can delete it. Before deleting, let me edit the schema. Click edit schema and then select it, employee ID, then account name. We can use display name or we can use email as well, your wish. Let's say full name. Then click update. Now I can go ahead and delete ID and then I can delete what is the other attribute? Name. Okay, now I have added all the attributes, right? So this is how manually you add the attributes. Or easiest way is download schema. Now you have got this file. Now let me open this file. You can copy paste from the Netflix CSV. These are the attributes. Copy it, paste it, save. Now you can upload this file. Upload schema. For that, you need to select the file. That's it, over. So in case, if it is only change of 1-2 attributes, don't go for upload schema, manually do it. In case if it is from scratch everything, if you think that saving time, use. I mean, it's up to you guys, whether you go manual changes or you go with download and upload schema, it's completely up to you. Okay, now I have done the attribute schema is done. Now I'm good to upload the file. Not this. Okay, not here. Okay, I'm dropping my file here.
Sorry, Krishna, you repeatedly told us now to keep the question for the to the end of the session, but certain, I believe, some questions need to be asked at the same time. Since yesterday we are seeing that, and one quick question that you are editing that default schema which is there in the ISC. I heard so this is this because uh, is this is it applicable to all the application onboarding or it is only for the CSV file?
What is account schema?
Account schema is application, right? Is the target application.
What is account schema?
Because the default schema which is there in the ISC.
Okay, come on, Ramesh. Account
Those are
schema,
attributes.
schema means attributes.
Yeah.
Attributes in your target application for a
Hmm.
user, right?
Yes.
Now, whenever you create a source, by default, account schema will be there.
Mhm.
Hmm? Do you want to use it or do you need changes?
We need changes, right? That's
Then do the changes. Do you think it is the correct schema? Then use it. Makes sense, right? Still not clear?
yes. Okay, so the account schema which is there, current which is by default there, which is in the ISC, which will not be similar to what is there in the application. So we need to make changes for it. Understand that.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. So
So,
now if I go to 10, yeah, go ahead.
so in case of IIQ, there is a feature called as the discover schema, from which
Yeah.
the IIQ pull the attributes of the application.
Okay.
Is this such type of feature is available in ISC or it is not?
It's not there.
It's not.
Yeah. Yep. Quickly, Neetu, I seen you have raised your hand as well.
So Krishna, I have a question. Why we download schema? Is it like first we create the schema and download the schema, and accordingly we will provide the data and we will upload that? Or
I think you missed it. As I said, either you can manually update the schema or you can download the schema. When you click download, it will give you all this attribute in a CSV file. You can edit that file and upload. Either you do manually or either you can upload the schema. Why you are downloading the schema? So that you get a template. Got it. Otherwise, if you have the template already, you don't need to download. You can just upload even. Ideally. You raised your hand, right? Ideally.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm just going to ask, what determines the attributes we use? Is it the HR system or the target app that determines the attributes we use in this account schema?
Okay. This is my CSV file. These are the attributes I have. This file I have got from Netflix team application. I need to add these attributes here. Clear?
So does the attribute we have here, does it have to correlate with the one on with the HR system, or every application? I mean, every target application requires a different attribute.
Can you tell me some applications you are using in your personal life?
Okay,
Are
let's
you
give
using
an
some Amazon?
example.
You
Not
use
really
LinkedIn?
Amazon.
Do you
Yes.
have same data? Do you enter same data in every application you are using in your personal life? Every application has different data, right? Different attributes will be there. Here you have plan. Do you have this plan in other application? May not be no. Anyway, so once you get the CSV file from your business application from your application team, this is the CSV file. You see the attributes, and then you take those attributes and you need to update your account schema so that you have the same attributes what you have in your CSV file. Otherwise, it will not work. If you have at least minimum in knowledge about database table, so when you say select start from, let's say I have a table, I have a sample employees database. So in this, I have a table like employee information. Okay. Now, if I in this employee info, I have columns. These columns are there. If I want to read the data from this table, I'm gonna read these columns. Are you going to read the column that is not there in this table? Then it will say invalid column. Okay. So if you know at least this information, you can understand what is meant by account schema. That's it. So anyway, don't want to spend more time on this. So now this is the CSV file we have got from the application team. Now you see the attributes this CSV file has. Now you need to say the same attributes in your account schema in the order you need to add. Okay. Or either you can manually update the account schema, or you can upload the schema automatically. So when you click download, it will give you the file. Uh, how it looks like this. Okay, so you can copy paste your columns here and you can upload it. So automatically the schema will be updated. It will be very quick. Okay, so now I have updated the schema as per my CSV file. Now I'm going for account aggregation and I have dragged and dropped the file. So my accounts are aggregated, total 8. It says yes, I have 8 accounts here. Okay, now if I go to my accounts, some are correlated, some are uncorrelated. Right? So why those are uncorrelated? Didn't I fix my data? So now I'll answer about correlation. Now I'm gonna delete this record because it's duplicate and then save it. Okay. Or let's say that I will, yeah, fine. Let me show you this use case first. If I go to account aggregation, again, I'll drag and drop this file. So how many accounts? 7. If I go back to aggregation history, earlier we aggregated 8 accounts. Now 7 accounts we aggregated, right? So one account it got deleted. If I go back to accounts, how many accounts are there total? 7 accounts only. Now I'll go back to account aggregation. I will say do not enable account deletion at all. Now let's say I'm gonna remove 4 records, then save. What will happen now if I run if I pull the file and run the aggregation? Do you think those records will be deleted from SailPoint?
No.
No,
Oh, you get again.
you will still see the 7.
Yes, let's see what error it is going to say. It said account scanned is 3 only. How many accounts? Only 3 accounts are there, right? And it said account deletion was skipped because threshold of 1 was exceeded. How it said threshold is only 1? Because you said 10%. What is the current accounts? 7. 10% of 7 is actually 0.7. It takes round off, so 1 account. So maximum you can delete only 1 account, right? That's why I mean, it's not about threshold even. We said like do not delete at all. I think it didn't take that in effect, but anyway, it will. So still accounts are there 7. So nothing is deleted. Okay. So in case if you say, I mean, I clicked this, disabled it, but still that change is not yet effective. Maybe there is a delay. So again, I'll pull the information. Let's see what it says. It shouldn't say threshold even. It should say that, I mean, a different error. But I mean, I haven't seen these errors much because we don't do these kind of things, right? So yeah, still it is saying that exceeded. Okay, maybe I'll try with this. I'll remove
Maybe it is
only one record.
maybe it is taking 1 by default when you have that unselected. Do not delete like.
Maybe even now I removed only one. Still, it shouldn't be deleted because I said I didn't enable account deletion. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how it behaves now. It said this still is not in effect. It shouldn't be deleting. I said don't delete at all. Right. So I don't know. Maybe it takes more time to reflect the change, which is not actually the case. But anyway, you got it right. In case if your threshold is reaching, it will not delete at all accounts. Okay, it will give a warning. It's not like, hey, I can delete only 10 accounts and after that threshold is reached, I will stop. Not like that. No deletion. If the threshold is reaching, there is no deletion at all. If I say that no disable account deletion completely, then it will not delete at all. It should not. I have selected this disable, still it is not effective. Maybe there is a cache there. Sometimes we see this. And also, these are the test tenants. Whatever the changes you do, it's not like immediately in effect. Sometimes it takes time to reflect. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. Even in IdentityIQ, also on-premise product, we go and clear the cache for the changes to be reflected immediately. In ISC test tenants, that 2 weekends, your changes might not reflect immediately. Okay. So whenever you run the aggregations, the threshold is very important. If you disable account deletion, nothing will be deleted. If you enable it, then the threshold will be in effect. Okay, it will calculate how many accounts maximum can be deleted. If it is less than that, it will skip. It will not delete any account at all. Okay. Now, if I go back to my accounts, some accounts are correlated, some accounts are uncorrelated. You know, let's say that I'm gonna change my schema, account schema. I don't want employee ID. I can use email as well, right? So
Yes.
that's also a unique attribute. How do you think the accounts are correlated here? Or to show you more, I'll remove the employee ID. I wanted to show you the correlation, exactly how that will work. Okay, I removed the employee ID. Now I'll go to my account schema. Edit schema. Account ID is employee ID, right? I'll select it as an email, update. Okay, and employee ID, I'm gonna delete this. Okay, Now I'll go to accounts, account aggregation. I'll say enable account deletion. I'll say 100%. Account aggregation. Will this change is not effective. So if I go to my accounts, why there are duplicates? Because we changed the account ID, right? So now when I run the aggregation, I have selected email as the account ID, correct? In my account schema, I selected account ID as the email. So the object is created with the email. That's what you are seeing the accounts with the email. So Brandon Stark with employee ID, old one. Brandon Stark with email is the new one. So I need to delete all these accounts. The old account should be deleted. So in order to delete all those accounts, I enabled account deletion, but still it is not in effect. Okay, so I can clear the accounts and then or let me create a new source completely.
So basically, the default correlation hasn't worked, right?
Yeah, that's what that is working. That's why accounts are correlated. I want to show you completely no correlation so that some people were having doubts, confusions, right? So those confusions will be gone completely. So let's see.
So Krishna, adding to this question,
Hmm.
so instead of creating a new source, so can we reset the accounts in the particular source, right? Through the VS
We
Code?
can do that, but now is too advanced, right? So that's why.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, I would have done that, but wanted to show you more exercise kind of.
Sure, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that you see the differences and understand what is happening. Okay, now I have so now this is the default template. Okay, this is the default attribute SailPoint has given, but I have different attributes in my CSV file. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I already have this file. I can use this. I copy pasted my attributes into this CSV file. I'm gonna upload this schema. I haven't downloaded anything. I'm directly uploading. Now it will ask me, dude, first select account ID and attribute. Already attributes are uploaded. The schema got updated. So now it is asking me to select account ID and account name. So don't ask me, is it mandatory? Yes, it is mandatory. So I'll select email as my account ID because the only unique attribute I have is email now. So I selected it. And account name is, select full name. Okay, done. Now I'm gonna run account aggregation with this. Okay, and before that, if you see account correlation, I haven't given any correlation at all. Okay, now I'll go with account aggregation, drag and drop. Okay, accounts are aggregated. Now if I go back to accounts, some will be correlated again. You know why? Because if I go back to the correlation, what is the attribute? Full name. Account attribute is full name. Here, if you see full name, I have given Arya Stark. What is the name attribute? If I go to my identity profile, just HR system 1, mappings. So because of this default attribute, the accounts are correlated. Why do you think this account is not correlated? All accounts are correlated. This account is not correlated. Why?
We updated the name, right?
Exactly. So the Arya star keys, the name of the Arya star is case we have added. So the name is different. That's why it didn't work. That's the default correlation. Now, what is the correlation I should add?
Email.
Exactly. That's the only unique attribute we have. So I'm going to select email. I'm going to select here work email.
But
Then
both,
save.
but both are the different CSV files, right? How can you compare Netflix files with the test HR file?
Who is comparing with the files?
No, so Netflix tester, your currently we are doing account onboarding your Netflix test, right? But you just checked test HR, so both are different, right?
Okay. If I go to
Hmm.
the account, so this is my uncorrelated account, right?
Yes.
What is the email?
Yeah, test one.
Yeah. Now if I go to Arya star, what is the common value here? So I
Okay.
want this account to be connected to this identity, and the accounts, my Netflix application should come here. Okay. How can I identify if this is the identity for my account, Arya star account? By using
Yeah.
email.
Mm,
So this is the email attribute in the account. What is the attribute in identity? For email, it's work email.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So I'm comparing with identity attribute and account attribute. So basically, I have your credit card and I have your bank account. Both should be connected. How? I need to use some common details, right? Otherwise,
Yes.
my credit card might connect with your bank account. So the common attribute I'm taking is email. So that email in account is this is the attribute in my Netflix application. What is the identity attribute? It's work email. Work email. So that I used it here. Now I saved it. Now if I go ahead and run the aggregation, the expectation is this account also should be correlated. Let me run the aggregation. Might not work. There is a reason why. I'll answer that. Yeah, completed accounts. Yeah, still it is not correlated. The reason is account aggregation. What is the aggregation? It's optimized aggregation. So there are two type of aggregations, optimized and unoptimized. So whenever you run the aggregation, what are the steps it will take care of? Read the data from application. Second, evaluate correlation configuration. Third, based on configuration or correlation configuration, connect account with identity, some identity, or I can say find the owner of the account. Who is the owner of the account? Identity. Got it. So we need to find, this is the 3 steps. I mean, of course, the threshold also will come as part of reading the data. So aggregation does basically 2 activities. One, of course, aggregating the data, bringing accounts from application to SailPoint. Along with that, it also does correlation configuration. Okay. So, I mean, here we are practicing, so it's very less number of accounts. In real time, you have thousands of accounts, right? 10, 100,000 even, 300K, 1 million records even. So for every record, it is going to check like, hey, I have got this account, for example, accounts. This is the email. I'll take this email. I'll go to, I'll search with this email. Is there any identity with this email? Found? Okay, take it. Next user, next user, next user. It will keep going on. We have already connected, right? Do you really need to test the correlation for these accounts? Not required. That's why in the second aggregation onwards, always it goes for optimized aggregation. It will go for optimized aggregation. In the second aggregation onwards, correlation configuration will not be evaluated. So if I go back to account aggregation details, the first aggregation always it goes is why it says optimization enabled. It's unoptimized. Second time onwards, it will be optimized. Okay. Did I run this already? Why it says optimization enabled even the first time? But let's see that more. How can I run the? There are two type of aggregations here. Unoptimized aggregation task. Second one is optimized aggregation task. People will call this as sometimes full aggregation task. Okay. Yes, two people raised your hands.
Yes, Krishna. So I just want to know the difference between optimized aggregation and the delta aggregation. So I hear the terminology delta aggregation as well in IC. I just want to understand the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't I haven't spoke about that even, right? It will come. Pragya.
Sure.
The same question is all.
Delta aggregation is it's not used for these things. Delta aggregation means it will pull changes based on some attributes only. No, it won't read complete data. It reads based on some changes only.
Okay.
It's like filtering the data. It will go to Netflix and it says that I need users whose plan is modified. Like that, it will fetch the data. That's delta aggregation. It's not supported for every application. You need to see. Pawan.
Quick question. So when this is not authoritative source, why are we still calling it as aggregation?
Oh my God. What is meant by aggregation?
Reading the data. But
Don't
when
you
it
read the
is,
data for every application?
we do, but we segregate in two stages, right? Reading and modifying. So then it maybe we can call it as a provisioning also, right?
No.
Okay.
We read the data, we write the data to application. Those are the two operations.
So we are still at the first stage then.
We are reading the data still, yes.
Okay.
All right, so now I need to run unoptimized aggregation task so that the correlation configuration will be, executed, or I can clear the accounts as well. How do we clear the accounts? Those are advanced operations through APIs. That is kind of like a session it will come. How currently it's all manual. We will handle every operation what we are doing through APIs as well. Okay, so let me check if I have it quickly. I don't have anything configured with me. I have it. Okay, we will discuss this more and you guys will be practicing on this as well. This is my tenant. You can configure whatever the SailPoint tenant you have in VS Code extension is there. What is VS Code, Visual Studio Code? We use it for coding purpose, development purpose. We have extensions, ISC extension you can install in your computer and you can connect to the SailPoint tenant. We will discuss this more in coming sessions. So I have connected to my tenant and it will display all the information. Whatever the data I have in my tenant, example transforms, it displays all the transforms I have. Okay. So how greatly it will benefit is you need to go through the APIs, then you will understand. For that, for now, what I'll do is I have the sources here. I'll go to my Netflix test 2. This is what I'm working on. Right click. I can go for import accounts without optimization. Now it is asking me to select the file. Let me select the file. I mean, I have never done this, import accounts without optimization, because it's CSV file, right? We don't work on CSV file much in real time. So you see, I selected the file. Yeah, it imports successful, it said. Now, if I go back to my SailPoint tenant, account aggregation, see now, just now it is completed as well. If I go back to accounts, see it is correlated. By default, when you run the aggregation through UI, it is unoptimized aggregation task. Okay, sorry, optimized aggregation task. Unoptimized means it will calculate the correlation configuration as well for all the accounts it is aggregating. Since it takes a lot of time calculating correlation configuration and finding the right identity for each account, it is going to take time. So to optimize that, to fasten the process, by default in user interface UI, it will always run optimized aggregation task. Okay, if you want to run an optimized aggregation task or full aggregation task, you have to use API. So in VS Code extension, it's nothing but backend, it's APIs only. Okay, so that is the difference between optimized and unoptimized. Now, did you understand correlation configuration? Or let me show you one more exercise here. I'm going to clear all the accounts in this source. So reset, I'll say source.
Krishna, can you repeat that again? Optimized and unoptimized.
So whenever you run the aggregation task, it does two activities. One, it reads the data from application. Second, it has to find who is the correct identity for this account. Correct?
Right.
It has to tell, right, who is the identity of who this account belongs to whom, which identity. So that is correlation configuration. So if it read the data and calculate correlation configuration for each and every account, it is going to take a lot of time, right?
Yes.
I mean, first time when you aggregate, accounts are connected to the identities, right, already. Second time, why do you need to calculate for every identity again and again? Correct?
Okay, right.
To save the time, it does an optimized aggregation task. Optimization. Okay.
So only for the new accounts, if there are any, those will be added to the identities, and that is called optimized aggregation.
Yes, correct. Okay, so Elvish.
Yes, thank you. I just want to ask, can we run the full aggregation only in one account?
Can you repeat the last one? Can we run full aggregation from?
Only from one account, only those accounts that is not aggregated, that we have the error.
You want to run aggregation for only one account?
Full aggregation task, sorry.
I didn't get your question, Elvis. Maybe you can type it. I'll answer your question. So
Yeah, I'll
now
try.
yeah, cool, great, thanks. So now I have right click and then reset source. I did reset, so all my accounts are deleted. See here. So when I click reset, all the sources are deleted. Now I can go ahead and run the aggregation again. Now while running the aggregation, I want to show you some more, because if I go back to my source account correlation, this is my correlation configuration. I deleted this, save it. Now default, I cannot change this even, it's SailPoint default. So they are using name and full name. So it is using display name. So that's why I'm gonna handle the display name. I'll append something so that it will not match. Save. Now I'm gonna run aggregation here. I'll import the file. What will be the expectation now? All the accounts are uncorrelated. See, yes, there is no matching. Elvis, no, we cannot run like that. Full aggregation for one account. No, we can't. Sarah or whoever was having confusion about the correlation. Are you getting now? I have ran the aggregation. All my accounts are uncorrelated, not connected to any identity. Okay. Yeah. So how can I make all these accounts are connected to an identity? Aarti.
Need to correlate.
Is there any way I can track what data has come in for aggregation? Say suppose if 3 accounts got modified at the application end, or 3 accounts got added in Netflix, and only 2 came into ISC. So is there any way that I can track?
No, we cannot see.
There is no database or as such where these data can be stored?
No, you cannot see like that. It's final output only you can see.
So how will we know if the aggregation is happening fine?
Now I ran the aggregation. I can see that how many accounts it scanned. When I go to the details, it will say how many accounts are scanned, how many accounts are not changed, anything. Now I got the data. What else you need? I have accounts as well here.
Say suppose accounts changed were 6 and here it aggregated were only 5. So that one account that got missed, how do
Why
I
it will
fix them?
miss? Why will it miss?
Okay, in case of some applications like AD or something, if there was any issue reading the data for an account or something, so that
Then it will
particular user.
fail. See, it's not like that. Okay, I have 100 accounts and I read 90 accounts and 10 accounts are missed. It won't be like that. If there was something, let's say 90 accounts are successfully aggregated and 10 accounts there is a problem, it will say that failed. Account aggregation task, it will say that failed. Some reason it will say. And it will tell you how many accounts it scanned as well. So when it is failed, you have to take care of something. It cannot say like, hey, I missed these 10 accounts. No information about that.
Okay, got it. Okay, so there is no intermediary table or anywhere that we can track all.
Did you work in Microsoft Identity Manager?
No, we
Or
Oracle
coming
IBM.
from someone? Oracle. Do you have it? Like I've seen in MIM, Microsoft Identity Manager, and they have that intermediate, like they call connector space, and they store the data. What we are getting from the application. But SailPoint, no. There is no intermediary. It just gives you the output. That's it. Silently.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Account correlation.
Yes, silently.
Yeah, account correlation. Can you please?
I'm hearing account correlation, nothing else. What's your question?
So that default we will be run or we have to select that.
What we need to run, what we have to select. I'm not getting your question.
Yeah, so here you can see correlation configuration. So this will be run or this is disabled mode that I'm not getting.
This one.
Yeah.
This is the default. This is default. You don't, it's not you selected, it's SailPoint given as a default correlation configuration.
So if we didn't add criteria, then this will be run, right?
Yeah, that's what I have shown you, right? Before that, I changed the name of the users, but because the display name was same, so accounts were correlated, except Arya Stark, because case were added at the end. So that account went uncorrelated. Except that account, all the accounts were correlated. Now to show you perfect correlation, how it works, I have changed the display name for every user, so appended with characters, so it cannot find based on the display name. So now no account is correlated. Now when I need to select the correlation, then all the accounts will be connected to its respective identities.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you.
Cool. Harish.
Yeah. Hi, Krishna. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is that, based on the aggregation results, right? So like we receive in IAQ, so do we have any option to download and see the data CSV or PDF format here, or we don't have it?
Okay, we don't have it. And another thing, please don't bring IAQ. You can bring that in at the end, because others, we are not moving ahead for the session. So don't bring your IAQ. At the end, you can ask, I'll answer comparisons and everything. You are.
Yeah, so once you change the correlation and when we ran the aggregation, it ran the optimized aggregation, and that's why it didn't
Yes.
affect. So
Yes.
you went to the VS Code and did the unoptimized
Yes.
aggregation. Can we do from the ISC too?
From UI user interface, you cannot do. From the backend only, you can.
So how about in production systems then? If for some
Same.
reason, I know it may not happen in production systems, but
It happens, and we need to run from the backend.
oh, okay. So do they allow enterprises this kind of
Then what do you think we
process?
are doing?
Hmm.
What do you think we are doing then as an administrator?
Yeah, yeah. But we are doing something from the VS Code, right? Sometimes they will ask what is the process, and change request goes into the production. They review
They
it and
won't
you say,
ask any. They won't ask anything. See, there are everything is an admin task. What I am explaining here, right?
okay,
Some
yeah.
admin task we perform from user interface. Some admin task they don't. There is no user interface available for that. Okay. So if I
Okay.
go to account aggregation, somewhere it could have given an option that,
Yes.
okay, do you want to run optimized or unoptimized? There is no such things in the user interface. There
Yeah.
were a lot of things are not available. Now it is better, but a couple of years back, SailPoint, ISC, or I didn't know, we were not having these many options even. So we needed to depend on the APIs. That's an admin task. You do not need any change request for that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, guys, so now I think people, whoever was having confusion about the correlation. So now if I go back to my accounts, this is Arya Stark account of Netflix. So now if I go to my Arya Stark identity, it should come under Arya Stark identity and account should be displayed here. That's our end goal. Okay. But since the data is not matching, all went uncorrelated. Now I'll go to account correlation. I'm going to add a criteria. So what is the common attribute between this identity and account? If I take Arya Stark data, it's test1@gmail.com. So email is there as a unique attribute. So I'm going to have details, what I have an email. So I'm going to use email as the correlation attribute. So I'll select identity attribute email, which is the display name of the email attribute is work email, and account attribute is email, and then click save. As I said, if I go to account aggregation and I run the aggregation, it will be optimized aggregation. Yeah, I can run again, but it doesn't impact anything over correlation. Let me show you that. So the aggregation we ran now is optimized aggregation. The accounts will not be correlated at all. See, nothing. Still uncorrelated. You can see under uncorrelated, completely uncorrelated. Now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna run unoptimized aggregation task. Okay, so I'll go to VS Code, right click on this, import accounts without optimization. Then I'll select that application. Sorry, CSV file I meant. Now, in case if any failure, it will show you here it as a failure. Okay, what it is doing is nothing but in the backend it is making API calls. Okay, so I'll show you making API calls through Postman as well. Postman we use to make API calls. Postman takes more time, more steps as well, but Visual Studio Code is far better than Postman. But are you all going to start with Visual Studio Code? No, we need to start with Postman. You know, you need to do the hard work first. See what is happening, everything. This is too much of comfort. Once you're Postman, you are comfortable, then come to Visual Studio Code. Okay. So I have done the unoptimized aggregation task. Now if I reload my page, see, all got correlated. How? Because of email correlation we added. That is correlation. Are we clear so far? Aggregation.
So now under that identity, this will be shown, right?
Yeah, if I go to my identity now, accounts, see the Netflix account. Okay, that's our job. So when we read the data from HR system, we create the identity. So now I have identity. All these identities are nothing but employees. These all are our employees. Now we connect it to target applications, and then those applications, once we connect and read the data, nothing but we get the accounts. When we get those accounts, we have to correlate them, and you see all those accounts under this identity. Okay, once we get identities, employees data into our system, SailPoint, and we read the data from the target applications, and we get that data as well. Now we can control, right, who gets access to what, and do you want to remove their access, or do you want to disable their accounts? Everything you can. Say centralized control system of our entire employees and their access to different business applications. That is what our work is. Okay, the same way we are going to connect to different applications in the organization, hundreds of applications. Then let's say it's not like this Arya Stark will have 100 of every application account will be there. Not like that. It depends whether they have it is relevant or not, right? So let's say I have this user will have access in 20 applications. So 20 applications it will display here. Now we control for this identity. Let's say if this identity leave the organization, we disable all their accounts as a leaver. Okay. So now what we have seen so far, aggregation. What are the types of aggregation task? Unoptimized aggregation task, optimized aggregation task. There is another task called delta aggregation task. Not now, guys. Keep that for a bit later to understand that more. I can tell you theoretical, but I want to show you practical so that you understand that really well. But at the moment, you keep this optimized and unoptimized. In the UI user interface, whatever the aggregation task you run, first time it is unoptimized only. Second time onwards, it is optimized only. Okay, if you want to run an unoptimized aggregation task, we need to use the APIs. Okay, backend we will do. That's an admin task only, right? I worked in ForgeRock. ForgeRock, there was no good user interface even. Options were not available. So we used to work using APIs backend. Okay, even SailPoint identity now or ISC, now it is looking way better. SailPoint is adding more and more options in the user interface, but still some are not there. If you have an option, for example, deleting the source, if I go back to my Netflix, I can delete the source from here as well. There was no option to delete from the UI. We used to delete from the backend. Okay, now there is an option you can delete from here itself. Okay, and another thing, I wanna remove the data from this, completely reset. I wanna, delete everything. I don't have an option for reset here. I have an option of reset from the backend. Yeah, I mean API, nothing but API. You see here, all these options are APIs only. Okay. You see this reset source or reset accounts. Entitlements, I'll show you that. So now we have aggregated the source, and if I go back to my account schema, I have marked it as an entitlement. No, didn't I? Okay, sorry. Now I'll edit it. I'll select it as an entitlement. Update. Okay, now if I go to my entitlements, there are no entitlements, 0. Let me run the aggregation again. Since there is no change in the data, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna aggregate using latest file. But if it is a direct application, you have to run the aggregation again. Now I have aggregation is completed. I don't know if it comes entitlements or not. Still nothing. I have experienced this bug actually. If you miss this as an entitlement and later you select it as an entitlement and run the aggregation, it was not showing up the data under entitlements. I'm really not sure. Never worried about it. We will discuss that more. I'm resetting my source again. So
Can
my
we
goal is
customize these APIs and integrate into the system or customize it code?
where will you integrate?
No, I mean I wanted to add some functionality. For the particular API so that I can customize and deploy into the
what?
system.
System. What is that
Yeah.
system? SailPoint?
I mean SailPoint, yes.
You can't. Outside only you can do any customizations. Okay, I did reset the source, and now if I go back to my source, I don't have any data. So accounts is empty. Entitlements is empty. Okay, now I'll run the aggregation again, account aggregation, or I'll run from here. You should not do reset every time you want to. There are some reasons when to do some, good practices. I'll answer that bit later. What is the purpose of reset? There is no change in configurations. You will not lose the configurations, but your accounts and entitlements will be lost. Okay, I haven't shown you entitlements yet. That's why I'm trying to show you now.
Yeah, but Krishna, in real life, the additional entitlement getting added into the account, it's very rare, right? Normally, we
No,
identify the
add.
entitlement.
It add. I mean, today you have one group. Tomorrow you might get additional groups, right? Yeah, right. So what I did when I created account schema, right? I didn't select it as an entitlement. I mean, when I was doing again and again, right? So I missed it last time. So
I think you did the upload schema, and by default in the upload schema, it uses string for each attribute.
Yes, but it won't select as an entitlement, right?
Yeah,
I need to, if I edit this attribute again, so edit, we need to select this checkbox that this is an entitlement, which I didn't, right? I've seen this even in IAQ. First time you miss this as an entitlement, then you don't get the entitlements. I've seen this, but never bothered to dig into that. But anyway, let's see now. I have run the aggregation accounts. I've got the accounts. Did I get entitlements? Nothing yet. I don't know why. If I go to my accounts, this is Netflix. See this plan mobile, it should come as an entitlement, but it is not coming. Something wrong with SailPoint. Now what I'll do, I'll go to Netflix first one. See account schema. I select it as an entitlement. See here, it's there as entitlements. So if you select, if you see the plan, these many accounts are there. This is mobile, standard, HD. These are our three different type of plans we have, right? So these three will come as entitlements. So you got them as entitlements. Okay. You can go to access model. You can see entitlements. You can filter. There will be a lot of entitlements because I have a lot of data right with me. So you can filter. I'll select the source, which is Netflix. Apply. I have these three entitlements. Okay, but you don't have, right, other attributes. It's not entitlements. It won't be there. Only plan we marked it as an entitlement. So it promote them as an entitlement and create an additional object, the entitlement. Nothing but access in a business application. Now we can use these entitlements to create access model like we discussed, like access profiles, roles like that. Okay, so if I go back to my HR system, so this is my HR system. HR system is basically we read the data. There won't be any access. HR system is just to read the data. Already employees are there. There will be no access or anything. So if you look into account schema, I didn't select anything as an entitlement because there is no access. Okay, but if you look into Netflix application is, it's a target application. I have marked one attribute as an entitlement, which is a plan. Okay, now we have loaded, let's say these 6 users are there already in the Netflix application. Now if a new user, let's say if this user need access to RN Nichols need access to Netflix, they should request for it and it will go for approvals and they will get the access. Okay, now I can mark these entitlements as an requestable access model entitlements. I'll mark as requestable. Guys, there will be a lot of options when you see here, but don't worry about now. I will explain everything when time comes. Hold until that. Okay, mark as requestable, mark as requestable. Right, so all are three are requestable, true. Now I'll go to request center. It might take some time. Don't expect that immediately those changes will be, reflected. It takes time. Request center, request for others. I'll select this RN Nichols. If I go to entitlements, yeah, it's already reflected. So good. Select, then review request, submit request. Since it is a CSV file, we can read the data. CSV file is read only. That's why we call it as a disconnected system. Okay, we cannot write the data to the application. I just wanted to show you the process. So I have shown you the process. Now what will happen? Since we haven't selected any approvals for the entitlement, there will be no approvals and then it will keep processing and consider like this is a direct connector, not a CSV file. Then user automatically gets account in Netflix. Okay, the same entitlement we can use to create access profiles. Let me show you quickly that as well. Create new, select it as test access profile. The good standard is Netflix : basic access, or just say basic. That is also fine. Let's say HD. I'll select HD. Who is the owner? Select someone for now. Additional owners, this is a new feature, brand new feature. Recently, couple of days back, this is released. I do not know whether it is mandatory even or not. Entitlement source, I'll select as Netflix and then save. Yeah, good that this is not mandatory. Manage entitlements, here you will add. What did I say? Access profile means collection of entitlements. So now if I click, it will show only the entitlements I have from Netflix application because I selected. Someone was asking a question like, hey Krishna, when we create access profile, the access profile contains entitlements only from same source, right? Can we have from other sources as well? Now I don't think you will be able to ask that question even. Okay, because I selected the source, whatever the source you selected here in the first tab, second tab, it will display the entitlements from that source only. Okay, and then I mean, if you have a requirement of additional entitlements, you can add them one by one here. Click save. Then go to access request. Do you want to allow this access request? Yes. Do you think this is required approval? Then we enable and configure the approvals. That I think can wait some more time. Okay. And other options, ignore them for now. Even we didn't use that. And now, even though you allowed the request, is this access profile enabled or disabled? You have controls. Okay. Then close this. It takes some time for this access profile to be reflected in the request send. Similarly, we go for roles as well, but roles has additional thing criteria, so we can automate it. Okay, like this, we onboard a lot of target applications, and then we get them entitlements. We work on the entitlements, we get it, and then we create access profiles, roles, we automate them based on the requirements from the application. Okay, this is what we do with the target application. Now there is another correlation. One last correlation I wanted to show you before we close this session and move on to next one. So manager correlation. If I go back to my HR source, so if I take my identity, let's say Arya Stark, who is the manager? There is no manager. Every identity will have a manager. Or if you see other identities, let's say Aaron Nichols, this user has a manager. Okay, so whenever we configure the approvals, if I go to access profile or entitlement or role, let's say access profile, I created Netflix, right? One access profile just now. So Netflix, edit, access request. If I say require approval, who is the approvers? You can say there are new things came, all owners, primary owner, leave this, even I don't know about these two. I need to check it's a new feature. Manager, if you select it as a manager, okay, and then save. Now let's say if Aaron Nichols request for this access, Aaron Nichols manager needs to approve. Who is the manager of Aaron Nichols? Jerry Bennett. Okay, so for every identity, manager should be there, but for our identities which we created, manager is still not there. Why? We supplied manager, right? If I go to my accounts, this is my HR system. Who is the manager? I passed myself as the manager, but then why this is not reflected here? Because we didn't configure properly. Okay, let me take you there. Mappings, find manager, see manager, source, test HR system. What is the manager attribute? Manager, that's it. Save it. And then since you did the changes, apply the changes. Okay, nothing here. If I go back to my identity, do you think manager is updated? No, not yet. Still manager is not updated. Why? Because we need to add manager correlation under account correlation. This is identity correlation, adding identity to the account. And along with that, you have manager correlation. So you need to select manager correlation. So what we are getting as part of the manager correlation? Manager data we are getting. This is the name. Okay. So I'm going to select name, not name, it's an ID actually. Let's select it as username. Here it's manager. Okay, so what is the value we are passing under manager? This is the value we are passing. I think it might be confusing. This is not a display name, it's a username. Dot is there, right? So I selected this. Okay, and now if I run the aggregation, my expectation is if username is the correct attribute holding that value, then Sansa Stark or Arya Stark should get the manager. So now let me run the aggregation. Again, since it is correlation, I don't think you need full aggregation, but let's see. Question, do you need manager correlation for every source?
No,
Why?
No.
it's only needed for source of truth, not for accounts.
Authority source.
Why?
It's required to provide approval for each target
No.
application.
No.
Because
All are
we are
correct.
creating
Okay.
identities from authority source only.
Exactly, because we are getting manager from HR system only. Other systems won't give you the manager, right? Got it. We are getting manager from HR system. That's why we have correlation in manager only. But is it like this in every case? No. Sometimes manager might come from different application as well. We really don't know how the organizations are structured. Don't think like organizations will be perfect everywhere. No. Okay. So that's why every source you take, even if I take you to Active Directory source, which is a pure target application, still you have manager correlation here. Under account correlation, if you go, at the end manager correlation is there, but we don't use that. Okay, we use manager correlation only for the HR systems because we get the manager from HR system only. In case if you get manager from some other system, yes, then you have to use the manager correlation. See now, manager is updated. Clear? We have two types of correlation: account correlation, manager correlation. Account correlation is to add the accounts to the identities. Manager correlation is to find the manager, to find the manager for an identity. And also another thing is, if you look here, this attribute says static values, right? But this is, it's not a string value. These all are string values. This is an identity object. That's what they have given it as a URL. If I click this, it will take me to my identity. Okay, so this is an object. That's why we need manager correlation extra. Okay.
So I have a question, Krish.
Hmm.
As you said, right, like in the authoritative source here, we are doing the manager correlation, right?
Yeah.
Does the manager ID and the user ID, right, has to be in the same identity profile?
No, it can be anywhere.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, because I see you didn't put your ID there, right? But it still was there
Okay,
already, right?
my identity is not, yeah, exactly. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be. It's just identity. It doesn't matter from where it got created.
Got it. Okay.
Dinesh.
So, yeah, Krish. So one more question here with regards to this manager correlation part. So as this Sansa Stark account, is it that is coming from the source of truth, that is Workday, right? For example. So here their manager has already been defined, so that for this delimited base application, are we required to do the manager correlation? if you take any web service or applications like this kind of thing, so we'll be getting the manager account by default, right? So we don't need to explicitly do the manager correlation.
What is manager correlation?
No,
Identifying the manager of an
manager, right? Yeah.
So now, okay. So here I'm getting manager information as some attribute I'm getting, right?
Correct.
Who is the manager? I
Yourself.
need to locate, right? I need to locate the manager based on this information, correct?
Agree, yes.
Yeah, so to locate that, what is the value they are passing? Is it an email or is it an employee ID or what is this?
Oh,
right?
Understood. That's an username. Yeah.
Yeah, so that we are going to say under manager correlation.
And
Then it will identify that object. Based on that value, it identifies the object and displays it here.
Got it, sir. Yeah, understood.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, take a break for 10 minutes and come back. And then I'll take your questions and take to the next topic. Okay.